Thanks for tuning in to A Better World, where we aim to illustrate that today is the greatest time to be alive and show the progress we're making as a civilization. I'm your host, Luis Acevedo, and in today we're going to be covering an article that I read from ABC Cleveland News. And it is titled, "This University is Offering Free Tuition to Families That Bring in Less Than $130,000." So, right off the rip, the title suggests this is going to be really good. So, the university is actually a well-known university. It's in the top 20 national universities in America, and it is Rice University. It is located in Texas, and they have started this fundraising initiative which is called the Rice Investment. And essentially, what they're trying to do is get $150 million through fundraising so that way they can support this program in giving students free tuition. And the students who will be receiving free tuition are those who come from a family that brings in less than $65,000 will not only get free tuition, but all their fees and room and board will be completely paid for through this program. Now, let's say your family makes anywhere in the range of $65,000 to $130,000. You will still receive free tuition. You'd just be responsible for the additional things, but still, you'd still receive free tuition. That's huge. And then for families making a little bit more than that, ranging from $130,000 to $200,000, will be receiving half of the tuition. That's still huge. And plus, you're obviously able to afford it, or at least more capable of affording the cost to go to school than the other families who are making less than that $130,000 to $200,000 range. So, really, what this goes to show here, there's a few things this goes to show. First thing I want to bring up is the fact that this, in my opinion, is a wonderful way to actually make a program based off of merit and not so much about where you come from or if you're able to afford it. It's just if you have the grades, if you're good enough to go to the school. Because mind you, this is a top 20 university in America. This is a top 10 school. This is one of the top 10 schools in teaching and when it comes to educational value. So this isn't some community college offering free tuition. This is one of the best schools in our nation that we have to offer, offering free tuition to those who need it. And so for those who need it and may not have had the opportunity to go to a school like this otherwise can now do so, which is an awesome thing. And this also goes in line with the big problem that we see today, which is people taking on these huge student loans, but the median income, as we heard in a prior episode, is at $61,000, but the average college tuition is in the ballpark of $56,000. So the median income is just a few thousand dollars more than what the college tuition cost. So when we have a top university doing something like this, it sets a very good example to other schools that this is a possibility for them to do that too. And it's a way to do it without getting the government more so involved into our college tuitions and trying to pay for it by the tax dollars. And rather having people, whether it be trustees or any other kind of donors, giving their money to this program so that way it's investing essentially on the future, because the kids that are going here are obviously going to be going places in life. Not saying you can't go and do tremendous things if you don't go to college or if you didn't graduate high school or if you go to a community college. Hell, I go to a community college right now. So by no means do I think that your only way to succeed is going to a top university. But for those who are good enough to make it into these top schools, obviously have a very, very, very good, there's very good potential for them to do great things later in life. Not saying other people can't, not saying other people won't who don't go to these top universities. Just basically saying students who go here are typically very sharp and are very driven from a young age, which is an awesome thing. Now, really the thing I really like about this is it just goes to show that once you, and by no means is a free market perfect. It definitely has its flaws, and there definitely should be things that we do to work on improving it. But one thing that we do need to recognize is that once we leave the idea of making money, creating a service, providing a product, something like, providing a service, creating a product, something along those lines. If we just give that essentially full reign, to the people to decide what they want to do for that, things typically work out better. I mean, even we saw this in ancient Greece. They understood that the less political barriers we have, the more the economy flourishes. So in this case, we see that we have some innovation coming in to provide free tuition without anything to do, at least from my knowledge, without a single taxpayer dollar going to this college. This is all through private donations, because I believe Rice is a private school too. So this right here is a very encouraging article. Hopefully, since this is a top university, it will influence other universities and colleges across America to try to set up something at least similar to try to provide education for more people, because we're living in a world where things are changing rapidly and you have to stay up to date consistently. And if you don't, you're going to fall behind, especially in the next few years when we start getting incredible technology and things just start changing even quicker than they are now. So by colleges hopefully taking what Rice University did is a stepping stone in the right direction, so that way we can provide free education. I'm all for free education. I think that if there's a way for us to provide people with free education without government intervention, it should definitely be done. Definitely. And so it's just better too, because if it's just private donations, then there are no stipulations attached to it. And not only that, but for instance, the biggest thing that I have against taxpayers' dollars going towards certain things, going towards a lot of projects, is because we don't have a say in a lot of what the projects go into. And now it may be a university that you don't support. Maybe you're not religious and then you have to pay for a religious school. I don't know how the tax laws work for that. Maybe that doesn't even work. But anyway, you get my point, is that if your tax dollars are going towards a university that you may not care for, it could be you're from Michigan and you don't want your tax money to be going to Ohio State. Well then, how can you control that? You can't. But if you set up things like Rice University does, basically saying, well, if you want to support us and help us reach our goals so that way we can educate more people for free and provide them with an excellent education and prepare them for the future, then invest in this program. I think that's an awesome way to do it. So hats off to Rice University. Hopefully more universities and colleges across America will follow their lead and try to set up something like this. So I hope you all enjoyed the article that I went over today. I hope you learned something. Maybe it's a little inspirational, something to look forward to. And, oh yeah, just want to note that this hasn't been in place yet. It's going to be in place, however, fall 2019 and 2020. That season right there. So, with that, if you enjoyed what you saw or heard, please, like always, subscribe or pass it along to a friend. And if you have any recommendations on something that you would like me to do, please let me know. Just make sure that we actually are illustrating progression being made. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Peace.